What's up, netizens? You're watching DarkStar. My name's Anthony. I'm joined by fellow reaction here, Joey. What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
Today we'll be watching ERB, Joker, Pennywise. A battle we finally don't have to do research on, dude.
Yeah, wait. Who is Pennywise?
Facts. I mean, I like Joker. I think Joker's awesome.
I like both, honestly.
Not a fan of it.
Yes, he is.
But
he read the books. He watched the TV shows growing up. He watched It 1 and It Chapter 2. He knows what's up, dude.
I'm wondering if we're going to give different versions of the Joker, or if it's just going to be one throughout. And also, if we get anything else with clowns.
That'd be pretty interesting, honestly.
Can you think of any other famous killer clown things? Killer clowns from outer space? It's the only other thing I can think off the top of my head.
No, just Pennywise. No, I can't think of any. But we should get the majority of these jokes. There'll probably be a few here and there that I probably won't get, but we'll see. Maybe not.
Yeah. I definitely prediction time. I'm feeling a Joker line's coming in where he's gonna say that Pennywise got beat by a bunch of kids. He has to fight Batman basically, but he just fucking lost to a bunch of kids or whatever.
Yeah, true. I mean, I can see that. Isn't that like a version in the comics where the Joker's like fighting like the kid Teen Titans? Well, they're actually teens. These people, I don't know. I see. Yeah, I feel you. I'll just go along with that. I don't know. At least the Teen Titans have powers.
You're really fucking stretching right now, dude.
I mean, at least the Teen Titans have powers.
But and then gonna be interesting to see how they bring in any other superheroes or anything like that. And then also maybe they've done some morbid jokes in the past. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Heath Ledger joke in here at some point as well. So we'll see. But
Joker died when Heath Ledger did. Oh,
something like that. Yeah.
That line comes out. I swear I've not seen this. That exact line comes out. Oh shit!
I don't think you have to worry about that. All right, let's check it out.
All right.
The joke.
What a fucking outfit.
I did good on him.
In my first appearance, the bat was supposed to slay me, but I can't be killed. That's why they cast a phoenix to blame me. I'm the harlequin of hate, the clown prince of crime, your sewer troll that Stephen King wrote between his lines. It's like cocaine. You know what I said. I don't know how any kind of joke could ever go over that head. They all float, says the quote, but your films, they all sink. Oh, and as far as Mr. King goes, I'm a shining man. I made the Justice League look like just a bunch of super schlubs. You lost to a herd of nerds who call themselves a loser's club. You be gobbled up in Gotham, so stick to your small town where you're renowned. See if it's brown, flush it down, clown. Are you joking? You wanna rap?
Bro, that's pretty good.
Why so serious? You're supposed to be the man who laughs, but those jokes are like your new movie. Mostly really sad, babe. You're a John Doe with my deadlights, and you're about to fall from a new height. Cause you're weak and you've lost every fight. Good night, who wears underwear over his ties? I've had nightmares and I'm ruthless. This battle's like poker, the Joker is useless. Winning's not in your cards, call me Arkham Asylum, I'm crazy with bars. Jack Nicholson played you just fine, but lately the class has declined. Jared Leto came out trying to look like he was the Cardi 6'9". So unless you've got a yummy younger brother, I think you'd better run. Cause I've got 99 red balloons, bitch, and I dare you to take one.
Go back in your well, you giggling sewer ginger. You lost to a turtle that wasn't even a ninja. When I flew, I go Mark Ham with ill vigor. I steal the show like Bob Kane stole from Bill Finger. I spit acid, be loud. Every joke of mine stings. Your 3 nightlights in a cloud, beat by the kid from Stranger Things. When I compare your antics to the fiendish schemes I revel in, they pale like the moonlight you can dance with the devil in.
Pennywise likes the devil. We have so much fun together, but no one's dying to play with Joker.
Except for me.
There it was.
Smith, I bet you like you beat Harlequin. That purple suit is something you should only see before reading. My face on your fear. I'm the very main attraction every 27 years. But you know what? I have a secret. It's like a very special toy. If you want to kill a Batman, eat him when he's a boy.
Don't you lay a finger finger on my bat, you little freak, or I will spend a whole week knocking out those prickle teeth. Tell your author for his next gangbang scene, how about a little more PG and a lot less 13? Even I wouldn't stoop to that kind of impropriety. This is Earth, you space demon. We live in a society. I've seen your movies, so I know you don't hurry, but I'll shoo you down the drain so fast they'll call you Tim Scurry. Ask Robin if I drop bars, I take smiles and I leave scars. Cards at Arkham will admit that the Joker just killed it.
Arkham? Ha! You stole that from H.P. Lovecraft. Who needs cards when you couldn't even escape Cesar Romero's mustache? Jester, I'm on Tressa, but I'm making my Fortunato. And seal this battle up like it was the cask of a Amontillado. With January Ember Flames, you got beat by the Scooby Gang. The John Wayne sees the underground clown posse were frozen insane. Poster boy for missing person posters, Joker's gonna float with me. Cause he just messed with the best wildlife mapper since the notorious B.I.G.
One that went over my head kind of early, but I caught it at the end. I'm gonna have to go back and fucking find it.
Between the lines.
Well, not the cocaine one. That one did too, but it was the Jack Nicholson Shining one, right at the beginning.
Well, okay. I got that one. There was okay, so this one was big.
I thought this was good. This one was good.
This one was like I feel like a little bit of an overcorrection, if that is relevant at all, just because this one had like super deep lines, like really clever lines all throughout. But the delivery on them was so, I don't even know how to describe it. It was just so, like, there was so much depth that it was like I was trying to figure out what was going on the whole time, as opposed to paying attention to some of the other stuff that I do think goes into whether or not these are good or not. Like the flow or drop punchlines that are just like, oh shit, sort of deal or whatever. Like, there's definitely like a place where it's like you can have those and still have a bad battle because it's not deep enough. But there's also a place where it's like you can have like incredibly clever and well thought out lines, but if it doesn't do the rest of the stuff well, it comes up a little short as well. So I think the battle was decent overall, but I think like I don't know if I would listen to this one as much as I've listened to some of their other like really good ones. It was like pretty good. I liked the beat. I liked, like I said, I mean, there's literally nothing bad to say about the lines or anything like that. Like, I think their lines were really good, and and the
Pennywise voice was lit,
fantastic.
Really good.
I think Joker was fine too. I mean, you've got a bunch of different iterations of Joker. Obviously, this one doesn't really quite line up with like the very more recent modern versions of the Joker we've seen, like Heath Ledger and Phoenix. But I don't think there's any reason to. I mean, it was fine. That's how a different iteration of Joker. I mean, Joker's got a bunch of or Leto. There's a bunch of different variations of Joker, and I think that costume was great. I think the voicing for Joker was good as well. I think the voicing for Pennywise was fantastic, and I think the costume they had for him was really good too. And I think was that Nice Peter playing Joker?
It looks like Nice Peter.
I think actually the costume for him was really good too, because I actually thought it was somebody else at first.
I
I
think
didn't
Pennywise.
get the first time. There was a decent chunk that did actually go over my head too.
Well, the Pennywise, the last verse, a lot of that shit I didn't understand. Like his last verse, a lot of shit I didn't get. But I'm still picking Pennywise. I thought my favorite line was the fucking the Jared Leto Joker looking like Tekashi 6ix9ine. That shit was funny.
Yeah, I think
All the tattoos on his face.
I think Pennywise was quite a bit better as well. Yeah, I would go with Pennywise as well. But yeah, I just think that overall it was like you said, in terms of the costumes and all that stuff, that was really fucking good. The voices were really good. I like the length. I like the
Ledger line.
Yeah, and then the depth and the clever lines and stuff were really good. And the beat was really good. The background and all that kind of stuff was really good. I just think in terms of like big drops, there wasn't quite as many, especially considering this one had 3 verses. So there's 6 total verses in this one, and I thought maybe there were like 2 or 3 like really solid drops.
I thought something was gonna happen because when fucking Joker went again, and I was like, I'm assuming Pennywise goes again, and then something's gonna happen afterwards. I'm so used to just 2 apiece, so I thought they were gonna bring in something else.
And then I also think that there were a couple issues with some of the flow in there as well, just because, especially with Pennywise, just because the voice and the way that he talks kind of forced them into rapping a specific way. So it's not even something that I can really criticize. It's just something that sounded kind of off because you don't typically hear it, but he was trying to mimic Pennywise's voice a little bit better. So sometimes there was a couple rushed like parts where the syllables didn't really fit in quite as well. But overall, I think it was a pretty good battle. Not one of my favorites ever, but it was definitely pretty good. And I liked seeing some of the characters that we obviously are a little bit more accustomed to. I like seeing the historical battles and stuff like that. And I do think that they should always try to keep those in there. And then I like seeing pop culture references, and I like seeing the fictional characters. I like seeing like a mix. I do think there's a decent chunk of people I see commenting and stuff like that. It's like, this is epic rap battles of history, so it should just be like historical figures and stuff like that. But I don't think that's always the case.
No, but yeah, that's true. Sort of.
I think you're just trying to get the most interesting battles, and battles like this, I think, are very interesting. I think these two are completely relevant in pop culture, especially right now. And I think this is a good battle to have. So
Agreed.
it was definitely a good one. And I like seeing the thing about like Vlad the Impaler and Count Dracula is you get a character that's based off of a person, and then that person that maybe like a lot of people don't really know the in-depth story of or whatever.
Yeah, that one was definitely interesting.
So you get so you get like, so those are really cool because you get characters, or not characters, but people that are like historical in nature, and some of them are a little bit more obscure, like in Alexander the Great versus Ivan the Terrible. You had Frederick the Great in there. Now, most people have heard of Alexander the Great, Ivan the Terrible, Catherine the Great. Those are pretty commonly well-known individuals in history, and you might know at least a decent amount of some of their history as a casual person, basically, especially a younger person. But I'd literally never heard of Frederick the Great prior to that battle or whatever. And so I actually read some of the stuff that he did and some of his tactics and stuff like that. And he had some pretty dope stuff or whatever. So bringing up, historical figures that are a little bit more obscure, I think is pretty cool. Because then you can kind of see like, oh shit, what did this guy do? Oh, that's actually pretty interesting. So I think that kind of stuff is cool too. But all right. That's going to do it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, stay bright. Catch you on the dark side.